It might not look pretty, but it sure does taste great. That is Lizz's Ugly Bakery. It is 7:10. Rob and Liz, his morning crew. And yet again, on a Thursday morning, Liz has for you Lizz's Ugly Bakery, which I thought it was pizza. You brought in some kind of big old sugar cookie.
Yeah, sort of. This is a fruit pizza or a dessert pizza. And I decided because I did not have a round cookie sheet, I ordered one and they gave me the wrong thing. So anyway.
What'd they give you?
A square. They gave me a square.
That's why this is square and it's not round like a pizza. Because you've been saying pizza forever, and now it's not a pizza. It's a thing.
Have you never had a rectangle pizza, like a flatbread? Or
Yeah, but that's when you make it at home. You go off to the restaurant, it's always round. Or if it's delivered, it's round.
Hold up. I made this at home, so.
Okay, well then there you go.
Okay.
It is homemade. And it's baked.
It is. And so it's got a California twist, like I said, because the fruit pizza was originally a mistake. Some guy, I don't know how he made the mistake, grabbed pepperoni grabbed strawberries instead of pepperoni, and that's how we ended up with a fruit pizza. So there you go.
Nice. But this is like a sugar cookie with fruit on it.
Yes, cream cheese, sugar, and butter mixture as the sauce, and then you layer your favorite fruit on it. Oh, so
Which
good.
she did strawberries, mandarin oranges, raspberries, what's the shiny stuff?
That blueberries that I put in luster dust. They're in gold luster dust. It is so much fun. And so it looks like there's a little bling on my fruit pizza.
She does. So she made blueberries unhealthy. So
No, there's no calories in luster dust, I promise.
Okay, good. So now we try it on your behalf. Since you're not here and you cannot taste it, Ian and TJ, our producers, taste it for you. And I will need to let you know, if you're new to the family, TJ never likes anything Liz makes.
How can he not like this?
Anything.
It's fruit and a sugar cookie.
Let's see if that takes a turn this morning. First with Ian. What's your thoughts, Ian?
Well, it's certainly not a thin crust pizza. It's a very thick cookie, but that is not a complaint for me. I like a thick cookie. And so it tastes really good. And all the fresh fruit on top of it makes me feel like I'm eating something healthy. So that's a plus.
You're not.
Just to be clear, lots of calories. You're running a marathon later today. TJ.
Well, I got to take these blueberries off first because I ain't going to eat them things.
I ain't going to eat them things.
Okay, so there's one
No,
thing
that ain't happening.
Doesn't like.
Who doesn't like blueberries?
So it's, man, it's a little.
Here it
I hate
comes.
to say this, but it's a little dry.
Sorry,
But
Liz.
the fruit's good.
The fruit's good, but you're
Yeah, I didn't
picking
make the
off the
fruit.
fruit.
The fruit's real good.
Yeah, well,
I like
that's God's beautiful bakery. So there you go.
God made those. That's right.
He did that.
Liz's Ugly Bakery. It might not look pretty, but it tastes great. The recipe, everything that you want to know about this is online at hisradio.com. Just click on Rob and Liz.
His morning crew.
If you know anything about Liz, you'll know that if you say anything about the royal family, the lady will not be quiet.
No, I can go all the way back to the last Tsar of Russia. And even before that, but that's where most of my knowledge comes from.
Why is it? You could talk, it seems like she could talk about it forever. I mean, if we will make it to heaven with Jesus in our heart, don't get me wrong. That almost came out wrong. But when you make it to heaven, it's like Liz will still be talking about the royal family. You know what I mean?
I might be. Who knows?
On and on and on. Ian, for instance, he's one of our producers. If you say anything about wrestling, Ian's all in.
All in.
Anything.
It's wrestling for him.
I absolutely love wrestling, especially with WrestleMania, the big show of the year coming up this weekend. My fandom is in full force.
Never have anything come out of my mouth about, hey, let's talk about nuclear power today. But TJ, our producer, could talk about it forever. Why nuclear power, TJ? Where did this come from?
So when I was in the Navy, that was my job. I was a nuclear mechanic. So I can literally talk about it all day. I can't tell you all the secrets that I know, but I can tell you, the basics. So.
All day long, the guy can talk about nuclear power. And he has secrets.
That's what I want to know.
Well,
Yeah,
you can't. You're not allowed to.
I have secrets that I can't tell until 75 years after I die.
Okay, well, great. I guess we'll just kind of have to
happen?
hold out on that. I don't know about you, but there's probably something that you could just talk about for a very long time. Like I have a guy behind me. He likes to do triathlons. I can talk about cycling and running with a guy like there's no tomorrow, which is pretty cool. If somebody mentions a Rocky movie, I can talk about a Rocky movie. You know, those kind of things. But what about you? Or someone that you know, it's just like, you know what? They just will not be quiet or shut their mouth whenever
Rob
you mention
and
this.
Liz.
His morning crew.
There might be somebody in your life, maybe this is you, that when it comes about that one thing that's mentioned, it's like, oh, woof, you're like all in. You could talk about it for a lifetime. 800-447-7234.
Pam said her grandson, who's 10 years old, his name is Bryson, he could talk about trains all day. He knows anything you want to know and probably more about trains.
For real. That's so cool. Sydney, in your life, who would it be? You're on his radio.
My husband can talk about construction forever. Every time we pass a building, I learn all about how it was made, how the walls were framed, everything.
How long has he been in construction?
About 4 years now. He's currently at Clemson full-time in construction science management and then also working full-time. So he's doing amazing.
When he started doing this with you, what was going through your mind?
Honestly, it was kind of boring at first, but now I'm interested on how buildings are made, and I'm trying to convince him to build our house.
How much have you retained? Like, can you tell him anything about construction?
Oh, he quizzes me. Now we're in the quizzing phase. So we pass buildings, and he's like, how is this made? Can you tell me what kind of material was used here?
How do you do with the answers?
Sometimes I'm okay. Sometimes I look at him like he's crazy.
Mornings with Rob and Liz.
I'm not much of a conversationalist. I mean,
Really?
I could probably,
That's surprising.
I could probably carry my own, but I just, in like a big public setting, if there was a big gathering, if those will ever happen again, I'm like the guy who's quiet, you know? I don't really.
You're the observer.
I am. I observe, I look, I listen, I learn a lot. When you're quiet, boy, do you learn a lot. Because people
Yeah,
just
but
keep talking.
You talk about technology and it just blows my mind. So I think that's something that you could maybe not talk forever, but a good long time.
If somebody brings up the topic, I can at least get into it and carry a conversation. If somebody talks about road cycling and the sport of that, I can carry on a conversation. Or health and fitness, I can carry on a conversation about that. But outside of that, I mean, I just don't walk up and say, hey, well, did you use your burpees this morning? People go, well, I don't have gas. I mean, I'm okay. It's an exercise thing. So we started talking this morning about things that you could probably talk about for a long time at 800-447-7234.
And we heard from someone that just said Bigfoot. I could talk about Bigfoot. And I was like, well, tell me more. Just Bigfoot. So
You're wondering if they could really talk about it forever? They're texting.
I really want to know.
They probably just did a little quick text because they're in the middle of a lot of stuff going on right now. But in their thoughts, it's all Bigfoot in their thoughts right now. Thank you for starting that conversation for them. Kathy's here at 800-447-7234. What is it for you, Kathy?
My kids, they joke with me all the time that I could talk forever about Revolutionary War history in the Carolinas.
How did you become interested in that?
I homeschooled my kids, and I started discovering about all of the cool things that happened in the Carolinas during the Revolutionary War and how many neat places there are to go visit here in the Carolinas. About the Overmountain Victory Trail and 96 and Cowpens and Kings Mountain. My family thinks I'm insane.
I have a feeling you weren't into history growing up as a kid.
Oh, no, I was very into history. My dad took me to every Civil War battlefield, I think, in existence. But I never knew much about the Revolutionary War until I started homeschooling my kids.
His morning crew.
Creed 3's coming out.
oh, yeah.
Yeah, you're into that, evidently. If you don't know what
I
Creed
do.
3 is, that's the continuation of the whole Rocky legacy. I mean, what? It started back in 1977, same year that Star Wars came out. So you've got Rocky all the way up to, what was it, 5, and then there was Balboa, and then there was Rocky Balboa, and then there was Creed 1, 2. Now they're getting ready to film 3, and the big question mark for some people is, will Rocky be in this one? And Sylvester Stallone just said on his own Twitter, nah, not this time.
Really?
Not this
I
time.
wonder why.
Well, if you follow the whole movie series or know anything about Rocky outside of just boxing, if you know some of the storyline, Mickey, who was his coach, passed away.
Right.
And so it looks like because Creed 1 and 2, Rocky had cancer, that Rocky probably passed away. This is not a spoiler. This is something that's coming out. And so people are learning about this kind of thing. So that's what the thought is, that how Rocky is not going to be in the next Creed movie, because he's such a strong part of this whole thing. It's his legacy.
Right. It's just the continuation of his story. But you said there's only 5 Rocky movies? Is that what you said?
No. Okay, so there's 1 through, I believe, 5.
Okay.
The 5th one was like, why'd they make this one? And then there was Rocky Balboa or Balboa when he's like older and Adrian's gone, his wife. So there's 2 of those. And then there's, because they didn't call that Rocky 7, Rocky 8, Rocky 9050. Which it seems like it's going to be that.
I knew there were at least 47 of them, but I will say I like the Creed series a whole lot more than I liked the original Rocky.
Well, it's because
movies.
it's more modern.
I think so, maybe.
Rob and Liz.
His morning crew.
I heard the most interesting thing come out of Liz's mouth the other day.
Yeah?
Yeah. You don't remember, do you?
No.
You don't remember. I heard her talking about sharks being cuties. And I'm like, wow, I guess if she's into sharks, they would be cute, but...
Sharks being cute. Oh, you mean those charcuterie boards?
Charcuterie.
Wow. Thank you, TJ. So sharks have boards.
What? No. Okay. Charcuterie is a board that when you're having people over or you just want to be extra fancy for your family.
Oh, I know what you're talking about. The stuff you just throw a bunch of food on them and put on a table.
Exactly. And it makes it beautiful and it's Instagrammable and all. Okay. So let me throw a new term at you. It is a barcodery.
I don't go to those kind of places.
No, this is for dogs. This is for puppies. Bark.
Oh, bark.
Barcodery.
Like rough.
Yes,
Bark.
Yes. This is the latest thing. You have a new puppy in your life. So, I had a conversation with Ranger. I think Ranger is going to enjoy your setting out a spread for him, a barcodery, because this is showing up. It's trending everywhere. And this is where you can put like the little milk bone biscuit kind of things for the dogs and the little treats that they love, the little bacon strips. But you can also put, because dogs can have vegetables and fruit, there's certain ones you got to stay away from, like
grapes. Mm-hmm.
They can't have grapes, that kind of thing.
Onions.
But you can, right. But you can put things like sweet potatoes. Oh, they love sweet potatoes. Carrots. You can put peas. But you can also put like little bits of peanut butter, and then you just put it down for the dog, and they have their own charcuterie board, and I think it's amazing.
What? Okay.
You're not going to do this for Ranger?
No.
Why?
Because he won't appreciate it, number one. Ranger's our puppy, by the way. That's why she's referring to Ranger.
Yeah. Yeah. I think he will. See, I think my dog's Charlie will be very discriminating. Ace, my Pomeranian, will just tear that board apart. I mean, he will eat until he's about to pop.
I have a puppy, and it's a Labrador. So I think my puppy might eat the food, but will be very interested in the board and chomping it to bits.
Well, then that's 2 birds with 1 stone. He's got a chew toy and a treat.
Rob and Liz.
His morning crew.
I am so geeking out. Okay, number 1, love roller coasters. You can put me on any roller coaster. I will love it. Even if it's the worst roller coaster. I love it because I just like roller coasters. I'm from Florida. Florida's like the land of theme parks. You've got Disney World, you got Busch Gardens, you have SeaWorld, you have Universal Orlando, and they just opened up the Velocicoaster. It's in Jurassic World. Am I talking over your head? It's at Orlando. It's at Universal Studios, and it will be in the Jurassic World. So it's like a Velociraptor, and that's why they call it the Velocicoaster. And it sounds really amazing. It's going to open up like June 10th. So next time you go over the summer, past June 10th, you can go on the coaster.
I'll tell you, I do not like roller coasters at all. I will not ride one. I'm scared to death. I don't like it.
This will be the first one Liz will ride. It will be amazing.
Oh, you're funny. No, not at all. But it looks amazing. Even I was like, a Velocicoaster? I want a part of that. And then I took a look at it. No.
Oh, yeah, she would like it. You see, It's one of those things like, when you're a child and there's this one food you won't eat, but all of a sudden you do try it years later and you're like, what? I was missing out on this. Liz has been missing out on a gift from God, and that is the gift of roller coasters.
Listen to me, Rob Dempsey. When we're driving and we go over like a speed bump, maybe not a speed bump, but like a hump in the road or something, and my tummy gets taken, I don't like that. So I'm not going to like a roller coaster.
Oh, no. This is just, you're going a lot faster. You don't even feel that.
Oh, sure you don't.
You would be amazed. So Orlando, Florida, over the summer, Liz Riles and the Velocicoaster.
Mornings with Rob and Liz.
She did not like it, and she was going to let Old Navy know exactly what she was thinking. It's Rob and Liz, his morning crew at his radio. Cameron's 7. Cameron didn't like something at Old Navy, so she wrote Old Navy. Here's what she said. I do not like that the front pockets of the girls' jeans are fake. I want front pockets because I want to put my hands in them. I also would like to put things in them. That's from Cameron. She sent it to Old Navy. 7 years old. I hope they read it.
I got to tell you, thank you, Cameron, because I have never understood why women's pants, women's jeans has this little teeny tiny pocket because it's kind of fake and it's like big enough to put a quarter in, which will get you nothing. But why don't we have real pockets too? I got to have somewhere to put my lip gloss.
Well, evidently somebody at Old Navy's listening and they read Cameron's letter and they said, okay, Cameron, we saw what you said. We love your feedback. We're going to develop a new product because of you, Cameron. And they also did this. They sent her 4 pairs of jeans and shorts that have real pockets.
Way to go, Cameron. The best thing that manufacturers and fashion designers ever did was add pockets to skirts. Best thing ever.
I wouldn't know, but I'm glad they did.
His morning crew.
The next 10 people right now, if you go and give a gift to hisradio.com or the My His Radio app, you will be automatically registered for this double Mac pack that we've been telling you about at His Radio.
And this thing is so sweet. It's an Apple Watch. It's an iPad Air, which is super fancy. And then it even has a magic keyboard. And not just one. No. 2 people will win this. And you can get pre-registered right now.
So here's the thing. It's not you and a friend who's going to win it. It's going to be 2 separate people. Somebody could win it like in Hawaii, and then you win it. Or somebody might be able to win it in, halfway across Savannah proper, and then you win it in your own neighborhood. It's 2 separate people, so that means that you have 1 and 2, one and however many are entering. See, I'm not a betting man. I don't know how that thing works. I just know I just know that if you don't register, you won't win. No gift is required. However, if you pre-register with a gift of support right now before April 19th, which is the first day of our fundraiser, raising the operational budget for the station, then you will be registered to win. And I can guarantee you the next 10 people who do that right now before 9 o'clock will be pre-registered to win the double Mac pack. Very easy to give.
Yeah, and I can make it super simple for you. We'll even send you that direct link right now. Text the word GIVE to 800-447-7234.
Sitting in front of the computer, hisradio.com or the My His Radio app, but give now.
His morning crew.